That means that a is equal to negative 5 over 9. That means that the equation now reads g of x is equal to negative 5 over 9 x minus 4 squared plus 3. We now need to get the equation of EF, or rather the length of EF. What is important about points E and F? Both points E and F are the x-intercepts of g of x. So wouldn't points E and F be the points where g of x is equal to 0, our x-intercepts? When I work that out, it means that minus 5 over 9 multiplied by x minus 4 squared plus 3 is equal to 0. That means that that is equal to negative 3. Negative 3 multiplied by negative 9 over 5. In order to get rid of that, I just inverted it. And to get rid of the squared sign, I square root it, which will give me x is equal to minus 4 taken across becomes 4 plus square root 3 times 9 is 27 over 5, or x is equal to 4 minus square root 27 over 5. Hence, to get my distance EF, I'm going to take point F minus point E, which is equal to 4 plus root 27 over 5 minus 4 minus root 27 over 5. That is going to give me an answer of FE being equal to 4.65 units. That means that there are 4.65 units between E and F. This here was easy to do if you've just plugged it into the calculator. Don't bother yourselves with long calculations. I want you to have a go at the following exercise. Press pause on your DVD player, and when you return we'll go through it together. The first one I gave you to do read b of x is equal to ax minus p squared plus q. I gave you this graph with a turning point of negative 2 and 9. This is b of x. I then asked you to find a, p and q, or the values of those. We're going to start this one out by saying b of x is equal to ax minus p squared plus q. But we know that our turning point is negative 2, 9. That means that b of x is equal to a x plus 2 plus 9. That means that our p value is 2, our q value is 9. Or rather, our p value is equal to negative 2 and our q value is equal to 9. We now have to find our a value. We need another point to substitute in. We do have another point to substitute in. This is the point x is equal to 0, y is equal to 7. That means that 7 is equal to a. 0 plus 2 is just 2 squared plus q, or plus 9. 2 squared is 4a. 2 squared is 4 times a is 4a, is equal to 7 minus 9 is negative 2. That means that a is equal to negative 1 over 2. Negative 2 over 4 is the same as negative 1 over 2. That means that b of x is equal to negative 1 over 2 x plus 2 squared plus 9. The second thing that we had to do was we had to determine AB. Now AB is both of them are our x-intercepts. Our x-intercepts happen when y is equal to 0. That means that negative 1 over 2 x plus 2 squared plus 9 is equal to 0 at a and b. That means that x plus 2 is equal to negative 9 multiplied by negative 2, negative 9 multiplied by negative 2, and the square root of that plus or minus is equal to x plus 2. That means that x is equal to negative 2 plus root 18. That will be point B, and point A will be given by x is equal to negative 2 negative root 18. That means that AB will equal the B value, which is negative 2 plus root 18, minus the A value, negative 2 minus root 18. If I punch that into my calculator, that's going to give me an answer of 8.49 units, rounded off to 2 decimal places. That is the distance of AB. The second one I gave you to do read c of x is equal to ax squared plus bx plus c, where the turning point is 3 and negative 25. The b and negative 2 are my two x-intercepts, and my y-intercept is given by c. The first thing I asked is for us to find a, b, and c. A, b, and c. I'm going to start by saying c of x is equal to a x minus 3 squared minus 25, x minus b squared plus q. Now the reason that I did this was because I've got my turning point. So I put it in this form. That means that c of x, now to get a, I'm going to substitute any other point that I have. I've got x is equal to negative 2, y is equal to 0. Is equal to a, x is minus 2 minus 3 squared minus 25. Take that minus 25 over, it becomes positive 25. Minus 2 minus 3 is minus 5, squared is 25. That means that 25a is equal to 25. That means that a is equal to 1. Problem, I'm not yet done with it. It now reads c of x is equal to 1 x minus 3 squared minus 25, which converts to x squared minus 3x is minus 6x plus 9 minus 25 is going to give me minus 16. Plus 9 minus 25 is minus 16. That means that in this example, a is equal to 1, b is equal to negative 6, and c is equal to negative 16. Just going to erase this so I don't lose my question. Means that c of x is in the form x squared minus 6x minus 16. Now the second question I asked was for us to find the coordinates of b. Remember, b is our other x-intercept, which means that at b, y is equal to 0. So we have x squared minus 6x minus 16 being equal to 0 at b and at negative 2. This factorizes to form x minus 8, x plus 2, is equal to 0, that means that x is equal to 8 and x is equal to negative 2. Negative 2, we've already got it over there. That means that the coordinates of B are x is equal to 8, y is equal to 0. Please remember I asked you for coordinates, so write it in coordinate form. X value of 8, y value of 0. If you did need to calculate the distance between the two, it would be 8 minus minus 2, which is the same as 8 plus 2, which is 10 units. But we didn't have to do that. The next question said, find the coordinates of C. Now at C, remember C is our y-intercept, which means that at C, x is equal to 0. So we are looking for C of 0, which will be 0 squared minus 6 times 0 minus 16, which is equal to 16. That means that the coordinates of C are x is equal to 0, y is equal to negative 16. The third one I gave you to do read h of x is equal to a x minus p squared plus q, and I want you to find a, p and q. I've given you the graph with the 3 points negative 4, 2, which are both our x-intercepts, and positive 5, which is our y-intercept. I'm going to start this one out by leaning towards the equation ax squared plus bx plus c. Remember that these two are my two x-intercepts. So can't that just be x plus 4 multiplied by x minus 2 times a is equal to h of x. To get our a value, let's substitute that point in, which is y is equal to 5, x is equal to 0, which means that a is equal to 5 over 4 times 2 is 8, but negative 5 over 8. That means that h of x is equal to negative 5 over 8 x squared plus 4x minus 2x is minus 2x times minus 5 over 8 is going to give me positive 5 over 4x minus 8 times 5 over 8 is going to give, times negative 5 over 8 is going to give me positive 5. And that makes sense because that is my y-intercept at positive 5. I still need to get it in the form ax minus b squared plus q. The way I'm going to do that is I'm going to complete the square. H of x is equal to minus 5 over 8x squared. So to get that x squared on its own, I'm going to have to multiply it by 8 over negative 5. So that will be plus 5 over 4 multiplied by negative 8 over 5 x this is going to give me x squared. 4 goes into itself once, and into 8 it goes 2 times, 5 into itself once and once, so that will give me minus 2x plus, or rather minus because there's a negative in there, minus 8. All I did here was I divided through by that negative 5 over 8, or I multiplied each side by 8 over negative 5. problem though is because it's not equal to anything, I'm going to have to keep that on the outside. Sorry, the other way around, -5/8. So that stays on the outside. That is our a value. Now I'm going to complete the square in the bracket. So that's -5/8 multiplied by x squared minus 2x plus 2/2 squared minus 2/2 squared minus 8 is equal to -5/8. This will become 2/2 is 1, so that will become x minus 1 squared minus 2/2 squared is going to be 1, so that's -1 minus 8 is -9. -9, remember it's still multiplied by that whole thing on the outside, so this will give us -5/8. This is h of x, by the way. -5/8 x minus 1 squared minus 9 times that is going to give me positive 45/8, and I don't need to simplify that any further. That means that for the third question that I gave you, our a value is equal to -5/8, our p value is equal to 1, and our q value is equal to 45/8. The fourth one I gave you to do, read k of x is that graph over there with a y-intercept of 5 and a turning point of 2 and 3. I started off by saying determine the equation of k of x. Because I've got turning point, I'm going to use the form ax minus p squared plus q. My p and q values are 2 and 3. That means that k of x is going to equal a multiplied by x minus 2 squared plus 3. Now in order to get my a value, I just substitute that point in, which is the point x is equal to 0, y is equal to 5. That means that 5 is equal to a times 0 minus 2 squared plus 3. 5 minus 3 is equal to 2 over 0 minus 2 is minus 2 squared is 4. So if I divide that through is equal to a, that means that a is equal to 1/2. That means that my equation will read k of x is equal to 1/2 x minus 2 squared plus 3. I then asked you, can k of x ever equal 0? Just by looking at this graph, you can see that it never touches the 0 line. Y is never equal to 0. So your simple answer there could be no. And your simple reason is that the turning point is above the y-axis and your a value is positive. Alternatively, you could have done the whole calculations and looked at it as being a half x minus 2 squared plus 3 being equal to 0, which means that x minus 2 is equal to square root, take the 3 across, that's minus 3 times by 2 to get rid of that, plus or minus, but minus 3 times 2 is minus 6, square root of minus 6 is undefined. Or your calculator should tell you math error. That means that k of x cannot ever equal 0. And that brings us to the end of the third tutorial under functions, the parabola. Please note that this tutorial we only covered the basics of the parabola. More on the parabola will be discussed in the 7th functions tutorial titled the basic sketch and transformation, as well as the 8th and 9th tutorial titled cumulative basics and advanced cumulative functions.